control is about as real as a one-legged unicorn taking a leak at the end of a double rainbow. Then what do we have?
Now, the only reason why I'm making this video, it was requested a lot. I mentioned a couple of times that my father passed away a couple of years ago, and a lot of people want to know why. What happened? Why did he pass away? Now, I'm not gonna get into deep detail because I feel like every single information is just between me and my family, but I could definitely give you a brief summary of what happened. Now, let's rewind a little bit. My father. Was my father in my life? How was my father? My father was a perfect father. Obviously, you're gonna feel that way because that's your father. You have to put him on a high pedestal. But honestly, my father was the perfect father. He was there no matter what. He was there for every graduation, every baseball game, every time I just needed to vent to him. He's the main reason why I grind and struggle and hustle every single day. My dad taught me what love was. For someone to care about another human being as much as he did with me, I can never find that from someone else. The relationship me and my father had was, I was his tail, so everywhere he'll go, I'll go. He showed me how to play baseball. He showed me how to become a man. When he passed away when I was 15, I had no other choice but to man up. I had no other choice to take responsibility and become a man at that very moment, because I didn't have a father figure in my life. I didn't have a father figure to guide me, to show me what's right from wrong. But growing up in the family that I grew up in, we were so family oriented. I had 5 brothers and 3 sisters. My dad was the definition of a workaholic. Way back in the days, he owned, I believe, like 2 to 3 delis. He was just working day in and day out just to provide money for us, just so we could eat, just so we could have clothes on our back, just so we could make ends meet. Even though we struggled every day with bills and just to try to make ends, he always found a way. And for that, I wish he was here so I could repay him. Sometimes I sit back and the thought in my mind comes, what if you had one wish? What would you wish for? And a lot of people will wish for, oh, I want all the money in the world, I want the fame, but nah. I'll bring my father back. I want to show him that his youngest son is a spitting image of him. I'm a workaholic. Whenever it's my day off and I honestly have nothing to do, I set goals in front of me just so I could succeed and just so I could become a better person. But every sunshine and rainbows, there are cloudy days, and there were tough times. My dad was a really big alcoholic. Now, when I say he was an alcoholic, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, he was an abusive father, because he wasn't. He never laid a hands on none of us, and there was 8 of us. No matter how pissed off we got him, no matter how angry we got him, he never laid a hands on us. But my dad, at a young age, he picked up alcohol. He wasn't able to function on a day-to-day basis without alcohol in his system. My dad ended up having a heart attack, and he went through 2 open heart surgeries. I remember he told me his life flashed right before his eyes. But unfortunately, when he tried to stop and try to better himself, it was already too late. His kidneys was already failing. My dad was in a rehab for about a year straight. He spent his birthday there, he spent Father's Day there, and he always used to tell me he didn't want to live like this no more. He didn't want to live in a rehab anymore. He just wanted to be healthy. And I can't lie, talking about this story is kind of hurting because I didn't really want to think about it until people started asking me like what was wrong. One day I decided not to go to school. I don't know, I was just lazy that day. I just wanted to stay home and play video games. I heard the door open from my house, and it was my brother. It was one of my brothers. I already saw it in his face that something was wrong, and the first thing that came to my mind was my father. So the first thing I said to him, I didn't say what's wrong, I didn't say anything. The first thing I said to him was, Dad? He said, yeah. Have you ever felt like your heart was ripped out of your chest, stomped on the floor, ran over by a million cars, and someone tried to put it back? Because that's how I felt. I broke down and I broke down in tears. I broke down in tears. I really didn't know how to react. But at that time, I was just so selfish, and just thoughts were coming into my head like, why him? Like, why not me? But then I started to realize maybe he wanted it this way. Maybe he didn't want to suffer anymore. And that's what I realized recently. As I'm growing up, you start to look at life in a different way. I'd rather my father in a good place with my brother than to have him here struggling on a day-to-day basis. Dear Dad, I love you. I miss you. I miss you like crazy. Every day I live life and I wonder, if you were here, how would life be? Would I still be struggling? Would I still be hoping if I find happiness one day? Would my depression and my anxiety finally go away? What if you were here? Would I stop taking pills for my depression and anxiety? I really wish I could show you the man I became, and I'm just growing. I'm doing the best that I can to take care of mommy. Trying to be the best son that I could be. No matter what, I'm still gonna have my fuck ups. I'm still gonna mess up. I know I argue with my mother way too often. And I know she just wants the best because she's the only parent figure in my life. Sometimes in the moment, I don't think about it. Sometimes I just feel like she's against me. I miss you. It's a dream to have a kid one day and to introduce them to their grandfather, knowing one day I won't be able to. I wouldn't be able to show my kid how good of a dad you were and how good of a grandfather you would have been. You're in a better place now, and you will forever be with me. Right now, you with Freddie, probably just looking down at me and just like, yo, you don't gotta do this. You don't gotta prove anything to anybody. You know your worth. You know you're gonna be big one day. But it's funny. Sometimes I wish you were here right in front of me, telling me. Instead of me thinking that's exactly what you're saying. One day, we're gonna meet again. And on that day is gonna be the best day of my life. Even though I'm gonna be gone, but I'm gonna be up there with you and Freddie. But in the time being, I have to leave a legacy. I gotta make everybody surrounding me proud. I gotta make mommy proud. And better yet, I gotta make myself proud. Sincerely, Brandon.
You know that bullshit people say about how when you fall, you gotta get up? I reject that shit, man. You know why? The whole thing is a fall.